What is up, my friends? We are about 17 to 20 games out from the end of the regular season. So I want to go through a breakdown of the standings for each conference to kind of see where we're going heading into the playoffs. Let's get it. I want to start at the top of the Eastern Conference with the Pistons and the Celtics. I believe the Celtics are going to overtake the Pistons because the Celtics are playing out of their mind right now, and they just got an MVP candidate back. The Pistons, as you can see, with losers of four in a row, are not playing well. They're not looking good. Everything looks slower and harder than it has all year long. Now, is this they're coming back down to earth? Is this just a rough stretch? I don't know. But it's not looking good. So I think the Celtics are going to end up overtaking the Pistons for the number one seed, and the Pistons will be the number two seed. Then after that, I think the Knicks and the Cavs are going to kind of stay in that 3-4 range. They may flip back and forth, but I think it's going to be somewhere in there. I would predict if Harden plays as much as he normally does, I predict that the Cavs will get the three and the Knicks will fall to the four because the Knicks just they can't have nice things. Like they play well for a week, you're like, okay, here we go, and then they just go into the game and then they get their butts whooped, and they've lost two in a row because of that. So there's the Knicks are going to keep being the Knicks. I think the Cavs are going to get that spot. Then we move down to the 5 through 10 range. It used to just be 6 through 10 range, but for some reason, Toronto decided to stop winning games. So 5 through 10, there is a 5 game gap in the standings on this. I first predicted that I think the Hornets are going to jump up and get there, but they've lost two in a row. And the Hawks and the Heat and the Magic decided to, like, oh, we're going to start playing well. So this one is a little rougher to look at and to predict. Right now, what I am going to predict is I think this Philadelphia is going to drop down to the 10 because they're just not playing well. I don't think Maxi is like out. It's not like a long-term one. I think he's going to be back pretty quick. Um, but still, like Embiid, Paul George, you never know. Plus, it wouldn't hurt them to get another pick and maybe get some lottery luck. So I will predict that the Philadelphia is going to drop down to the 10, and I feel like the Hawks and the Heat are going to kind of come back to earth a little bit. So I would predict Charlotte's going to be somewhere in here in the 7, 6, 7, 8 range. I think Toronto's going to keep the 5. I think they're going to do it. They're going to kind of right the ship a little bit, just going through a small rough patch. I think they're going to right the ship. So I think so. What I'm going to predict today is be Toronto at the 5. I'm going to keep Orlando at the 6, Charlotte at the 7, Miami at the 8, Atlanta stays at the 9, and Philadelphia dropping to the 10. Now, when it comes to the tankers tanking away over here, Pacers and the Wizards are doing their damnedest to get down there. They're both on a 9 and 8 game losing streak. Did Brooklyn forget that they're trying to get a high draft pick? Are they? Guys, come on. Stop this. What are you doing? What are you doing? Winning two in a row? Stop it. I'm glad to see these teams finally just bottoming out. I don't think the Bucks are trying too hard. The Bulls are 100% trying, but the Bucks are still trying to play. But they're 4 games out of the Hornets, and the Hornets are climbing, and the Bucks are falling. I don't see them catching them. So this will be your bottom 5, and I think the Pacers are going to end up with the worst record because they have the most incentive to do so. Now let's move on to the Western Conference and take account of this. Thunder Spurs are going to be at the top. I thought that the Spurs would overtake because I thought the Thunder were going to kind of fall back a little bit, but they've won 6 in a row. And they've won 6 in a row because guys are starting to come back. And Jared McCain's playing his butt off. And that's very, very helpful. And Jalen Williams is playing his butt off. Not J Dub, but J Will playing his butt off too. So I think this is probably kind of how it's going to be. OKC 1, Spurs at the 2, and I think these two teams are the clear favorites out west right now. Against two teams that I think should be higher than this, but they're just not because they're just not playing well right now. So again, I think Thunder 1, Spurs 2, and that's how it's gonna last. Then we go to this 3 to 6 mess of nonsense. They are a game and a half separates 3 from 6. Denver's on a 2 game losing streak, and I actually thought they played really well last night against the Thunder. I felt like that was like, okay, we're starting to see it. And Gordon is not Gordon yet. He just came back, but he looked okay. When he starts coming back, he's going to be in there. He didn't look as explosive. They still don't have Peyton Watson back, but they're going to come. But it's just this 3-6, man. I have your guess is as good as mine. Minnesota looks great. Look at that. 8 of the last two, but this last loss was just like a absolute butt whooping. They just don't show up games, but they're so talented and it's so freaking awesome. So I just don't know what to do with them. Um, Houston, been saying it for a long time. Everything's just too damn hard. They don't play Reed Shepard enough. Um, they don't cut and move off of Shengun the way they should. They don't give Amen the ball in spots where he can score. Their offense is just kind of just kind of like wears you down mentally trying to watch it, and they rely way too much on Kevin Durant. Not, but he's old. Lakers, um, that last game they looked freaking awesome, and Luca and Reeves together look freaking awesome. But they can't guard a soul. They're relying way too much on DeAndre Ayton, and LeBron is not going. He's going to play well some games and look non-existent in some games. He's going to do that from play to play. So how much are you going to count on that? My prediction here is I feel like the Lakers are going to drop to 6. I think Houston's going to drop to 5. Denver's going to go up to 4, and Minnesota is going to stay at the 3. Next, the play-in race in the Eastern Conference: Suns, Clippers, Warriors, and Trail Blazers. I do not think this is how it's going to end up. I only switch though. I think is going to be Clippers and the Suns. I think the Clippers are going to catch the Suns because the Suns, this 2-game win streak, they played a great game against Charlotte. I'll give them that. But I feel like they're going to start kind of coming down. Like again, they're going to be 5-5. That's kind of how they're being right now since Dylan Brooks got out. They came back to earth. Devin Booker's kind of going here and there, playing well. So they're going to be down there. I think the Clippers though are playing well. So I think they're going to jump up to 7. I think the Suns are going to fall down to 8. And then these two, I think this is where it's going to end up. I think Golden State will and should not bring back Curry and kind of let him be. Um, I don't mind this for Portland. They weren't going to do anything this year either. I would shut down Denny because you're not going to be caught, right? You're not going to be caught by the bottom 5 because they're awful and they're not trying to win at all. So I would shut down Denny, keep the 10, get beat in the play in, go to the lottery, fingers crossed for some luck. And kind of figure out what you have with Scoot, what you have with some of these young guys, because I would shut down Drew too, along with Denny, because you got Dame coming back. Denny is a star. He's an all-star, hands down. Um, and you're going to build with that. What can you get in this draft? What are these young guys, Shaden Sharp, Scoot, all of them, Klingon, who I think is a keeper for sure. What are these guys going to be for you? Are they keepers, not keepers? Are you going to be able to flip them, get them out, bring in some more stuff? So again, I think it's going to be Clippers, Suns, Warriors, Blazers, and I think the Clippers and the Suns are going to end up 7-8 to go get their butts whooped by the Thunder and Spurs. And last but not least, let's talk about Tankapalooza out west. Mavs doing their damnedest. They brought Cooper Flag back. I would not be surprised if Cooper Flag is going to start missing more and more games and may even be shut down and hurt his Rookie of the Year case. I could see that happening. Grizzlies, they're just really not very good at all right now because, again, a lot of their guys are injured and they're kind of letting the young guys go. New Orleans has no reason to keep tanking, and they're not going to. They have the best record of any tanking team, any bottom 5 team right now in the last 10. You can see that. They are 6-4. They're going to keep winning because, again, they have no incentive. The Hawks are going to get their pick anyway. The Jazz and the Kings. The Jazz, like they beat the Warriors last night, and obviously this is not the same Warriors team, but they're good, man. The Jazz have players, and they're not even playing all of their guys. They're going to be good. Kings, it's bad. It's really bad. They need to get out of this stuff because their players are awful. Kings are just really not good at all. It's going to be a race with the Kings and the Pacers to be the first overall, like first place odds to get the number overall pick. But I think the Kings are not going to get it because of this. They're going to just keep winning games because they have guys that don't want to tank. There you go, guys. There's my assessment of the NBA standings, about 17 to 20 games out from the end of the year, and where these teams are going to end up in the playoff race. Hope you liked it. I know you did. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you next time.